In this lab, we are going to attempt to demonstrate conservation of mass in a reaction between strontium nitrate and potassium carbonate. These two substances are laboratory-grade white crystalline solids. We're going to prepare them to a concentration of 0.005 moles. Prior to the lab, you should have calculated the mass needed to obtain those concentration solutions. Preparing them will require care down to the thousandth of a gram. The mass of potassium carbonate required turns out to be 0.691 grams. And for strontium nitrate, we measured a likely 1.058 grams. Each of the solids is dissolved in a certain amount of water to create a solution that has a molarity of 0.005 moles per liter. The result are nearly colorless, one slightly blue, one slightly yellow, liquids. We will mix these two solutions and you will see the formation of a milky blue precipitate. The filter paper will be used to isolate the precipitate. It weighs 1.164 grams. It must be folded from a circle into a semicircle, which is then folded inward to make a cone that can be inserted into a funnel. Our setup is that the funnel will be held in an O-ring attached to a ring stand. The material will be drizzled through the funnel with the filter paper cone, and some material will make its way through. That liquid is called the filtrate. To make sure that the filter paper cone adheres to the funnel, we make it slightly moist. It is inserted into the O-ring positioned above the beaker or flask that will hold it. And now we will pour the mixture, the result of our reaction, through the setup. Now you will notice that the liquid that's coming through appears to be clear rather than milky blue. If we look at the top, we will see what is happening. Filtration separates the products. And one of the products is the filtrate, it goes right through. The other is the precipitate strontium carbonate, and it's being captured by the filter paper. So one substance goes through the filter, but here you see the strontium carbonate being captured. When we remove it, we can see that the filter paper is still very moist, and so there's a great deal of water that is not desired. We want to get rid of the water and leave behind the material, so we're going to use this drying oven. The filter paper that's still moist containing the precipitate will be placed in the drying oven for a period of time. Now when we get done with this, we will have another mass. We already know what the starting mass of the filter paper is, the initial mass, and the difference between the final mass and the initial mass will be the mass just of the precipitate strontium carbonate. It turns out that when we measure the filter paper with the strontium carbonate precipitate, that it has a mass of 1.902 grams. This can be used to calculate the mass of the precipitate. And now, one more time, the reaction where strontium carbonate is formed inside that beaker.